in course of this election matter. These are hefty allegations that should not have been treated with levity. More apparent, the Supreme Court's judgment willfully condoned breaches of the Constitution relative to established qualifications and parameters for candidates in presidential elections. With this counter-if judgment, the Supreme Court has transferred a heavy moral burden from the courtroom to our national conscience. Our young democracy is ultimately the main victim and casualty of the courtroom drama. Without equivocation, this judgment amounts to a breach of confidence Nigerians have in our judiciary. To that extent, it is a show of unreasonable force against the very Nigerian people from whom the power of the Constitution drives. The Supreme Court's ruling may represent the state of the law in 2023, but not present demand for substantive justice. The judgment missed principles and precepts. Indeed, the rationale and premise of the Supreme Court judgment has been clearly brought to light by deep, revealing, and troubling valedictory remarks of Honorable Justice Musa Datijo Mohammed, JSC, on Friday, 27th, 2023. In disagreeing very strongly with the ruling of both the Presidential Petition Court and the Supreme Court on the outcome on the 25th February presidential election, as declared by the Independent Electoral Commission, as Democrats who believe in the rule of law, we recognize that the Supreme Court is the end stage of our quest for legal closure on this matter. As a party and candidate, Daddy and I have now exhausted all legal and constitutional remedies available to us. However, this end is only another beginning of our quest for vindication of hope of the common man for a better Nigeria. After all, sovereignty belongs to the people, even for historical purposes. It behoves us to place our disagreement with and deep reservation about this judgment on public record. We have long been aware of how weak the national institutions have negatively affected our democracy. This year, 2023, has been quite remarkable and revealing. INEC displayed incompetence in the conduct of its statutory duties. The judiciary has largely acted in defiance of the constitutional tenets, precedents, and established ground rules. Political expediency has preceded judicial responsibility. A mechanical application of technicalities has preceded pursuit of justice and fairness. Both INEC and Supreme Court, as referees, respectively, shifted the goalposts in the middle of the game. Where the value and import of INEC and recent Supreme Court ruling ends is where our commitment to a new Nigeria begins. Our mission has been more about anchoring a new Nigeria, and it remains unchanged. It is a nation where things will work, where the country will be led from its present waste and consumption orientation to a production-driven economy Our commitment is to a nation anchored on principles of prudent management of resources, to quickly pull millions out of multidimensional poverty, ensuring transparency and accountability in equitable distribution of opportunities, resources, privileges. In the new Nigeria, we aim to address unmet needs by showing compassion for all those left behind by the present system. Going forward, we in Labour Party and the Obedient Movement are now effectively in opposition. We are glad that the nation has heard us loud and clear. We shall not expand the confines of our message of hope to the rest of the country. We will meet the people in their places where they feel pain and answer the needs for hope. At marketplaces, motor parks, town halls, boardrooms, university and college campuses. We will carry and deliver the message of a new Nigeria. As stakeholders and elected Labour Party officials, we will remain loyal to our manifesto. We will continue to canvass good governance and focus on issues that promote national interest and unity and cohesion. We will continue to give primacy to our constitution, rule of law, and the protection of other liberties. We will offer checks and balances and will vote robustly in forthcoming elections to elect those who share our vision of a new Nigeria. Given the present national circumstances, there is compelling need for a strong political opposition. We shall therefore remain in opposition, especially because of the policies and governance modalities that we in Labour Party campaign for, especially the issue of reducing cost of governance, moving the country from waste and consumption to production, reducing inflation, ending insecurity, promoting the rule of law, guaranteeing the responsibility to protect and stabilize our national currency, are clearly not the priorities of the present administration, nor is it interested in achieving sustainable development goals. It has one thing that has gladdened my heart in course of the struggle in the past 18 months. It is the passionate desire of our people, especially young Nigerians from across ethnic and lines, to construct a new and restructured Nigeria that will work for all Nigerians. The goal remains the light and abiding inspiration. Finally, I thank all Nigerians who believed in what is now only a revolution postponed. We deeply appreciate the unalloyed, non-partisan moral support millions of youths and ordinary Nigerians across ethnic, religious, geopolitical divides have continued to give Dati and I. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Nigerians who have supported this mission from the onset. We salute the leadership and members of the Labour Party, the Obedient Movement, the Obedient Presidential Campaign, Nigerians in diaspora, support groups, and all people of goodwill who work diligently and hoped for realization of the beginning of new Nigeria in this election cycle. Nigerians who supported our cause have done so out of patriotism and their sincere conviction that our nation requires and deserves dedicated and visionary leadership who will lead Nigeria toward a brighter future. The energy and dedication of Nigerian youth and obedient movement have been simply amazing. I appreciate and salute them. I want to assure them that this is not the end of our journey, but in fact, the beginning. Nigerians heard you, the world have taken note, and will not forget easily. We shall endure, persist, until we reach our destination, because New Nigeria is our destination. A destination is not an event. We thank, in a special way, our legal team. We also thank elder statesmen whose wise counsel were immeasurable. To them, we wish to state unequivocally that this judicial outcome, an obvious misinterpretation of substantial justice, has by no means foreclosed realization of a new Nigeria that is possible. On a personal note, I take pride and express gratitude to those who share our vision, who have exhibited rare courage to challenge the nefarious system, the genuineness of individuals, identities, and their defining and qualifying particulars up to the highest extent allowed by law. Nigeria holds out hope of infinite possibilities leading to a desirable greatness. I remain consistent in my belief of a possibility of a new Nigeria built on character, competence, capacity, compassion, integrity, respect for the rule of law based on justice and fairness. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Please, another round of applause for His Excellency. Thank you. We'll entertain, the Excellency will entertain questions. Will nobody? 5 possibly. Okay. Daily Trust.
My name is Shafiu Suleiman from Trust Union. Excellency, you did mention just now that your party, you and your party are committed, to providing the necessary checks and ensuring that the right thing is done, despite the Supreme Court judgment. I am concerned about the recent passage, if you like, of a supplementary appropriation bill of over 2 trillion. Before then, there was also spendings that were okayed by the National Assembly to buy SUVs for lawmakers, for the lower and the upper chambers. The vehicle was 160 million for senators, for instance, and 135 million for House of Rep members. In these 2 chambers, there are a substantial number of Labour Party representatives, and together with their colleagues across party lines, they okayed all of this. What would you say in respect to the need to cut West, just like you mentioned, which is a principle, if you like, or one of the cardinal objectives of the Labour Party?
Let him answer.
Well, thank you very much. Let me first elucidate a bit. Supplementary budget is a budget that is meant for very important national welfare need of the people that is not captured originally in budget or does not have adequate funding. I'll give you an example. Nigeria today, we've read it in the past 1 week for United Nations World Food Organization that 26.5 million Nigerians will go hungry next year. This is an issue of national importance that we can go for supplementary budget. But we have a supplementary budget where we are mentioning issues of yachts, SUVs for First Lady's office, shows to the extent that this government is totally uncaring and we're in deep problem. We shouldn't be part of that. In fact, bringing in First Lady's office, which is not in our constitution, is even more problem. All funds meant for First Lady's office should be allocated and addressed to dealing with the girl child issue of education, to deal with the issue of education of the girl child in Nigeria. The First Lady is there to look after the husband and work with him and everything to ensure that everything works well. So for me, the other one you ask is the issue of SUV for National Assembly. Again, I can put it in the same basket and I'll put the alien one. It's very troubling. The SUVs for both houses will cost in region of, I think it's in the region of about 60 billion, if I'm right. Nigeria today, our primary health care today is collapsed. Which consequently, Nigeria now have higher infant mortality than India, a country that is 7 times our population. For you now to use funds that is higher than the fund allocated to primary health care to buy a car for 400 people is just height of insensitivity. And we have a way we can buy a more competitive vehicle and everything for them, even from locally made, and most of them, even in the Senate, are people who already have cars. We don't really need to buy vehicles to them because some of them are my colleagues, ex-governors and everything. Do they need new cars again? It is time we must shake and show responsibility to what is happening. People Nigerians are already scamping for food from West Bean. And we're doing this. It shouldn't be. And I can go further to give you an example of how I handled it even when I was governor. So it's not the first time. When I became governor, I found out that the justices of High Court don't have cars in Anambra State. The permanent secretaries don't have cars. And when I became governor, they ordered for me 2 bulletproof vehicles. And I said no. Collect the money back, pay it to PAN, and said supply us 60 406 cars, 18 to the justices, 18 to PANSEC, few to the commissioners that are appointed. The rest became my deputy governor and myself. Throughout my first term, everybody in Anambra said that I used 406. Nobody, but it was meant for 2 bulletproof cars. The money we used to buy these cars, and nobody killed us. In that 4 years. So it is time for us to use money very judiciously.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Georgina Humphrey from Radio Nigeria. Now that the Apex Court have passed the final judgment, how do we build a nation to avert these court cases in subsequent elections?
Well, as you can see, everybody has done that and all institutions are broken down. Like it's been now shown, it is now for all of us to work hard together to ensure that we save the country. who are in office should do the right things. Those who are in opposition should ensure that the right things are done. And we'll do so on our own part aggressively.
Yes.
Your Excellency, my name is Friday. I work for Channels TV. I'd like to ask you, sir, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, when he also briefed on this same topic, the Supreme Court judgment, he made some recommendations. And one of the recommendations I can remember vividly now is this recommendation for a single term of 6 years on a rotational basis, rotational presidency. What's your view on that? And I just want to take you quickly on the issue that my colleague from Daily Trust raised, the issue of cars for people in the National Assembly. It is true that your party is in opposition now, since by virtue of the judgment of the Supreme Court. Then you have your members of the party who are in the Senate. Thank God we have one of them here. We also have some of them also in the House of Representatives. They are beneficiaries of this. So, to what extent are you going to engage with them? And of course, those lawmakers at the state level, so that they will stand different from other lawmakers in these parties that seem to be doing things contrary to your vision.
Let me start with the issue of Labour Party members in the House. I've actually discussed this issue with them. Surprisingly, I can tell you, I heard that these vehicles are official cars. And I don't know, they have to use it. It's meant for official vehicle. So it's not as if it's their vehicle that is meant for official cars and everything. Because we can pay for it and say, listen, give it your car, you return it or do something. But they said it's official cars. And that everybody is meant to do it. You are meant to use it while you're in the Senate. But you know how things work here. It's not going to be like that. But, so, what I said people is that it would be if Labour, if we were in office, nobody would have contemplated such. And that's what we want to go for. Because it is not enough to do the wrong thing and then start correcting it, but it shouldn't even be. Just like people are saying, oh, maybe the issue of young have withdrawn, or this one, it shouldn't even be mentioned in the first place, because it touches the sensitivities of people to do that. On the issue of a single term, we campaigned vigorously on the issue of restructure and reform. So that is clear. And that would have included so many amendments to make this constitution be a workable and functional constitution that will be productive for Nigeria. Including in that would have been issue of single tenure. I thank Vice President Atiku Abubakar for his position and his commitment to ensure that things work better going forward in Nigeria. But I disagree slightly. I will go for 5-year tenure, which will go for 30 years rotational for 5-year tenure. And I'll still campaign for one thing. If we cannot go back to the issue of parliamentary democracy, we must have a policy system that will allow our leaders elected, whether prime minister or president, to be able to be part of the legislation, especially to answer questions, maybe presidential question time or prime minister question time, instead of hiring surrogates and people who are not elected, who have nothing to be stories. We want to to hear from the people we elected now. And that is critical. It's very important. We cannot continue with this way where we are now, where people have outsourced leadership.
Thank you. You are done. Okay. Hello.
Dr. Tinubu.
All right, good afternoon, Your Excellency. Affirmed Akimala is my name, and I report for Uluwazogia FM. Prior to the general election, there were calls for you and the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party to come together and unite to fight the APC government. And after the elections, people were still saying that if you had, obeyed such calls, that we would have been having a different story now. Do you regret not, answering those calls? And do we see you, collapsing your structure to have this kind of a thing in the future? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We don't regret anything we did. We came out and campaigned on a new Nigeria. No other party did. And we remain, our position remain consistent. We're consistently consistent on that. On a new Nigeria. A Nigeria where things will be done properly. So we're not regretting anything. We don't know who knows tomorrow. If you can predict tomorrow, I don't think you'll be here. We can't predict tomorrow, but I'm telling you where we are. Our commitment is on a new Nigeria, and we remain committed to it.
My name is Ben Omodia, East Nigeria. You make an assertion to be a strong opposition to this ruling government. They say charity begins at home. First and foremost, I know that there's crisis in Labour Party. Even the chairman states there's crisis in Edo. From what we have read so far and what we have seen so far, how do you intend to reconciliate everybody across the country so that you can have a viable opposition?
Okay. The last one from the air.
My addition is that since you have exhausted all the legal means to reclaim the mandate, many of your supporters, the young Nigerians, they are tired, thinking that is it going to remain like this with the way the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, Tribunal has settled this situation. So many of them are drawing back. What advice will you give to them to reclaim that hope of a new Nigeria?
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That's what we just said. For us, it's a destination. We're committed to where we're going, and nothing will stop that. That is our commitment. And the question before that, where is the man who asked the question before that? On issue of our party. The leadership of our party is not in question. Like it is in every system, especially these are the troubling things that is happening in Nigeria, where people are trying to bring in divisions in other people's houses. The Supreme Court has said those who are leadership of our party, and it's not based on judgment that is purchased or manipulated. It is based on the rule of law. That is this is what it is. And that will follow, and God will respect. And I assure you that in coming months, We will make the party stronger.
Sir.
We will build it. Those young people he's mentioned that are virtually tired and weak, we'll re-energize them. We'll make sure that they walk down the road. We'll make sure that we carry them along to our destination. We are committed to it. Labour Party, the obedient movement, everybody will come out of this stronger, better, more committed to a new Nigeria.
Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. Thank you. Okay, Your Excellency has graciously extended the question. Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. My name is Dixon Irebu. I anchor Nigeria right now on AIT. Sir, with the call for the opposition parties to form some form of alliance, is there a window or a door open for such to happen between you and possibly the other opposition parties, like PDP and the rest of them? Because right now, some of the excuses why these shenanigans succeeded is that the opposition parties are fragmented. So is there anything that you have available in that direction, sir?
You people are like.
Well, I think I've answered that question. The future is dynamic. Our question now is to ensure that we do the right things. That we show that Nigerians know our commitment, especially making sure that our resources are efficiently managed for the benefit of Nigerians. Things are getting worse here. People are suffering. Look at the level of people they said now are going into temporary depression and everything. That's our commitment for now. We want to start talking about the issues that will put people out of poverty. We want to deal with the issue of hunger, issue of productivity and everything. As we go along, we'll know. Let me, again, as we end, most sincerely thank all of you who are here. I saw a lot of our wonderful and patriotic senators who are here all over the place. Labour senators, House President members, and everything, members of family, especially the journalists that are here. Thank you. You are all part of this new movement.
Yes.
To build a new Nigeria. Because about your children, about society your children will live in. We must build it. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.